What's up, guys, and welcome to the Detailing Workshop. In today's video, we're working on this older Honda Accord that came in for that rust overspray removal. If you don't know what I'm talking about, head over to our other channel. I'll put a card up here where you can see us working on these jobs. They were really bad, and it happened from a factory with the AC unit or something like that spewing out rust, and it went all over the parking lot and covered a bunch of vehicles. But check this out. We did the rust overspray removal already, but now we're doing the polishing, and this is something that you as a detailer might come across. But before I show you what's going on here, don't forget to subscribe to this new channel and click that bell. That way you don't miss stuff. So here's the Honda, and we just started doing our paint enhancement polish. Now check this out. You see that? Ugh, super oxidized, really bad. And that's a common thing with Hondas and Toyotas of this year. But now, ooh. Now, we're not worried about swirl removal. We're worried about getting that layer of oxidation off to just bring back the gloss. So this is basically like a gloss enhancement. And what I'm doing, I'm actually separating these two packages. I'll be listing them on our website soon. The paint enhancement is trying to achieve swirl removal, 50% to 75%. Gloss enhancement is doing this. For cars that people aren't worried about swirls, they're worried about the oxidation, the fading of their paint, then a gloss enhancement is what we're going to do. It's a little bit cheaper because we're using an all-in-one. We're using Shine Supply Burnout. That's actually a ceramic infused all-in-one. And we're also using the Eurofiber. So you can use a regular microfiber also. The foam cutting pad just gums up too much and it doesn't really work well on oxidation removal like this. We found that microfiber discs or the Eurofiber discs work the best. So let's show you how we go about do this. And again, this actually is removing pretty easily. We've dealt with others in the past that were way past this type of oxidation, and it took a long time to polish out. But this is actually polishing out fairly easily. So let's show you how we do that.
Look at that difference. Oh my goodness.
This almost looks like looking at the sun through smog. And then the pollution clears up. Ah, that's a weird analogy.
You're weird.
You're weird. Now here's a tip. Stay away from the black plastic if you can. If you don't have a lot of experience, if you bump up or rub up against the plastic, it can stain it, and the white oxidation here will actually stain the plastic or the rubber trims. Two things you can do. You either treat the rubber and plastic first with a dressing. That actually makes it easier. If you bump up against it, then you can easily clean it off. Or if you haven't treated it yet, tape it up. Just to be careful with that. And I only say that, I don't tape often, because I've learned, we've learned to angle the polisher so as not to hit trim or damage stuff. And a lot of the products we use don't stain trim anyway. It's not the product staining trim. It's this white oxidation, this residue from the white oxidation coming off and staining the trim. That's what's doing it on this particular type of job with single stage paint. With clear coat, you don't have to worry about that. So you don't always have to tape up. It's not a rule. Just use discernment. Figure out when you need to do it and when you don't need to do it. Don't do things arbitrarily. It's not smart for any detailer to do such things like that. Here's another tip. Grab a 5 or a 3 gallon bucket in this case. Use just regular water and spray down the sides. And what you're doing is making a dust catcher. It doesn't work perfectly, but it does reduce the dust. And clean these pads often. See how flat this looks? The fibers are not standing up. There's residue. Use an air tool like this to clean it out. That'll catch the dust in there with the wet sides like that, and it'll definitely help it. Now, you fluffed up the fibers, you get better cut, better efficiency, and you get that residue out of there. Ching! Don't forget to have your energy drink of choice.
My choice. Mine.
Starbucks, if you'd like to sponsor us, information's down below. Now what happens if you get it on the rubber trim? Look, oh no, I got a little bit here, right on the edge of the rubber trim. See that? Not too bad. Take a separate towel, put a little bit of all-purpose cleaner, and just hit the rubber trim right away. And it removes it perfectly. Nice, clean trim. So don't freak out if it happens. Just use either all-purpose cleaner, a little bit of degreaser, and or isopropyl alcohol also helps. It'll junk up your towel, so of course, use a different towel for the paint. All right, the Honda is now looking incredible. Look how glossy it is. The reflection is back. As far as swirls go, it's kind of hard to see because it's white paint. If you really look closely, you can find swirls, but that's not what this service was all about. So once again, guys, this was really gloss enhancing, oxidation removal. You will most likely deal with this at some point. It gums up your pads. Just make sure to blow out your pads regularly. If you're doing it mobile, it is kind of nice because you just blow them out into the air. You don't have to worry about trying to contain dust in an inside environment like this. So that's what I used to do when I was mobile. I would just use the air compressor, blow out the pads, keep them clean. And sometimes you have to do multiple passes, wipe it off, and then do another few passes to clean up the oxidation, because it does gum up your pad, and it can cause some issues, just sticky residue that kind of sticks onto the paint, and doing another few passes cleans that right up. So you'll find that you just might have to do that. Again, very quick. We started this at around 9 o'clock, and now it's almost 1 o'clock. And again, that's with 2 of us polishing. So it may take you most of the day if you're just a one-man show. But again, this job here, we charge $500 for the exterior only, and they wanted a full interior, so we also did a full interior at another $100. So that's $600 total. And again, that's great for a full day's work. Or if you have a partner, someone who knows what they're doing, thank you, wifey, then that time is cut in half, which is awesome. So that's going to do it for today's video. I want to show you that process, and hopefully that helps you guys out if you're dealing with oxidation, or if you are trying to figure out how to offer polishing services. There's a variety of different ways to do it. Your all-in-one services, your one-step, your two-step, your three-step, whatever people want to call it. I try to simplify that and just have 3 packages. Paint protection, which is our basic wash, clay, and seal. Our paint enhancement, which Depending on the paint and depending on the product, sometimes it's an all-in-one. Sometimes it's an actual polish, and then we do either ceramic coating or a ceramic sealant after. And then we have our paint correction, which is going to be 2 to 3 steps. However many steps it takes to get the paint to 90% plus, that's what we're shooting for. We never say full 100% paint correction because it's unreasonable. It's rarely possible to actually do that unless you're working on a show car, but most detailers are not. So you're working on regular family cars, daily drivers, and paint corrections, we don't get a lot of them, and sometimes people say that word paint correction and they really don't know what they mean, and basically just what they want. And basically what they want is just polishing. They want their paint to be relatively swirl-free, glossy, and that's about it. So the paint enhancement is what we actually talk them into because it's faster, it's cheaper, and it's what they want. So educate the customer, ask them some questions, and try to discern what they really want. That way you're not just going overboard and charging a ton of money, and then a couple of months or even a year later their car's all swirled up again because they don't know how to wash it, or it's a daily driver, lots of mileage. So talk to your customers and ask them questions to try to discern what they need, what they want for their vehicle, and then design a package for them that works for both you and them, that's affordable and that you can get done quickly. So thank you guys for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss stuff. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.